Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I fudged up? Things aren't quite, what they seem. Uh, um, uh, oh well. Here we go. Ucroo! Hi everyone, it's been a while. Ucroo. My name is... What? Ucroo! Hello everybody, good day, good evening, wherever you are. My name is... Huh? Pixel Granny, I think I'm fine. Is there something wrong with your eyes? You guys can't see me clearly. Huh. Scary alerts are thankfully not on. Hi, my name is... Who's that? Who's this? Who's that? Who's this? Who's what? Oh no, I'm forgetting my intro. I'm forgetting my name. It's been 2 years of doing this and I forget everything every time. Guys, could you help me jog my memory a bit? Maybe I have too much overload of data, and that's why everything's a little weird right now. Oh, someone said the name. Audica. Is it Audica? Audica? Is that it? Too much whiskey. Could you guys help me out here? Could you guys please help me out here? I think I need to remember who I am. I feel like every now and then I tend to forget myself. So if you guys could help me. I am not censored, what the fuck? But you guys call me Audie. Maybe things get a bit clearer. Could you guys give me a bit more clarity as to what's going on? Maybe that will help? Maybe that will help things a little. Where to start? You are known as Audica. I guess that's working. Oh, what else? I mean, you guys have been here for some time. What else? What else can be done, guys? Feed me with more information. Hold on. That's all you have. I am just Audica. I'm a YouTuber who sings. Huh. Huh. No. Ow! I sing. What else? What else? Grandma tuber? Wait, let me try that. Grandma, Granny, Boomer, VTuber. Nope. Can you give me other input? Can you give me something else that's not Granny? Please. My YouTube channel was made 2 years ago. Okay, established fact. What else? Wait. Okay, maybe I need to know who else is here with me, right? Am I right? Nimby, the deadly natter? Are you here to kill somebody? Are you here to kill me? NQ Chaffee? Are you a brand of coffee? Sky Avatar says goodbye, but hello! Ahmad Saya Hire Naimi ASN. What a weird network name. You guys are weird too, huh? This fantasy. Good morning. What's that word? Ukururu. Uncle? UNCUCROO. Uncle. You're playing a goose game when the stream was recommended. Oh, that's how you know me, huh? You were at cutie? Okay, wait. Okay, so me add wait. Is my memory that bad? Yeah. Add cutie, add goose game. Maybe that will help. Goose game. What does this do? Ah! Cutie. Cutie, how do you cutie? K-A-E. Hey, I think it's working. Something's working. Something is working. Hold up. Am I a little visible now? I mean, I can see you guys pretty much fine. That's how the text-to-speech pronounce your name. Ahmad. Welcome, Ahmad. Ahmad. I think cutie worked. Anything else that you can give me? Any more inputs? Or maybe some emotes that kind of pertain to this entity called Audi. Audi. Most important auntie. Let's try. And T. Is that working? No! What rubbish! Oh, I can get angry. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. Auntie isn't working. No. No? Single brain cell. Let's try. Single brain cell. Trying to debug something here. I hope it works. That's right. Oh, something. It's working. Whatever it is you guys are doing, it's working. Okay, it's working. Wow. Oh no, are you guys wordling on the chat right now? What the heck? What the freak? What the heck? I think you guys can see a little bit more detail right now. What? Your stomach ache from eating too much fish? That is a first. I've never heard of someone who eat raw fish. Wait, I was in the middle of checking who else is online right now. This fantasy says ucroo. ZJY1 says ucroo. Scary alert on. Then this is milk tier U. Milk tier U. Oh. And we have a RV Blitzil. Hello. I see you guys are all online. Cha o tick V's. I look different. Yes, I do. Sky avocado. Sky avatar. Juice T1. I can't misread that. I'm sure of it. Likes to take fertility pills? Try that? Okay, hold on. Likes to take fertility pills. Is that gonna work? What are fertility pills? What's that? Oh wait! Something's working. Hold on. I think it's coming into detail right now. Something is working. It's either you are defining the environment or maybe I look a little bit clearer now. Maybe? Just maybe? Still have no idea what's going on. Me too. I'm confused. Date a pigeon? Wait, I missed that. Date a pigeon? I date pigeons? Huh? I date pigeons? Let's try. Likes to fuck with pigeons. How do I spell pigeon? P-I-D P-I-E P-I-G. Oh wait. You guys said it. Haha. No brain cell. Single brain cell. It's working. Pigeon. How do you spell pigeon? Pigeon. What? I don't think the fucking works, but but I think pigeon works. Pigeon is doing something. Inputting pigeon does something. What is even going on? Pee pee poo poo? Why would you date pigeons? That's a good question. Why pigeons? Why of all birds and of all creatures that, you know, the internet could pick, why pigeons? Why? I thought this was a Christian channel. Christian channel? Am I a Christian channel? Christian channel. Religious? Jesus. What does that do? Nom 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 nom. What does this do? Nope. Reset, 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 reset. Okay. Pigeons are pretty cool. Kinda. Bird brain sus streamer. Okay, let's try that. Bird brain. Brain. Okay. What else? Sussy streamer? Sussy. Ka. Oh, that's great. Something is doing something. Hey, yahoo! Ucroo! Oh no, it's not uncroo, it's ucroo. Oh, soka, wakatta. I think you guys unlocked something. Any guesses as to why we're here? I'm indie. Okay. Beaten to a pulp by a handsome three-eyed guy. It turns Audica to a pancake? What? Turn what into a pancake? What? What? Good enough now? This is good enough now? Is it? Is it really? Okay, Audica is a pancake. Audica is a pancake. What? Ah! I'm not a pancake. Lies. Audica is squishy. I'm an indie. Wait. Let's put indie. Audica is an indie streamer. Oh. Okay. What's next? I think we can do a few in a row and then we'll be good. We'll be good. A great singer. Aww. Really? Good. Audica is a good singer. Oh! Am I being slowly debugged? I think I'm smoother now. I'm smooth now. Squishy, great personality, good enough. Wait, there's so much more input. Cause I would pinch her, that's why you would pinch me, that's why I'm squishy. Great personality, great personalities, more pixels, parasocial. Nice. Nice. You know what? I think we are gonna slowly debug this. Let's freaking go. I forgot everything I just said. Parasocial, LMAO, squishy. Beaten to a pulp by a three-eyed guy? Come on, we know that's not real. Big eyes. Big personalities. Yes. Anything else? Sniffs armpits. Sniffs armpits. Nice on reaching 2 years of streaming, Audica. Thank you. Yay! I think we kind of figured that out. We kind of figured it all out. Let me see if we are back, okay? Let me try to debug something for a little bit. Hold on. I think we're back now. This is cool. Hold on. Yeah, we're back now. Yippee! Ucroo! Dark and empty, just like my soul. Just like my soul. We're back in HD. Yippee! Yay! Yay! I don't need help no more. Yippee! 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 Ucroo! Hello, everybody. Who's this HD VTuber? Isn't this the standard? Isn't this the standard? Tadaima. You guys miss me. It's been a week. It's been almost 2 weeks. Can I get Pixel later Audi back? Now. At what price? At the level of my dignity? No. Never. Never. Ucroo. Thank you guys for entertaining the little game that I thought of in the last 5 minutes before stream started. Just a little something, because I realized like there's so much I wish I can do. So little time. So little time. Oh no, I have a lot of buttons that I want to press, but I don't know how it'll turn out. Like this one. I wonder if there's like sound effects that I can use for... Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Kind of scary. Kind of scary. Ucroo. Hello, everybody. Thank you guys for always being here. It's been amazing 2 years. I can't believe it's been 2 years. I also feel deep down in my heart, I feel really bad. I didn't really prepare anything. I didn't really prepare much of anything, but you know what? I feel like the most and the least I can really like give you guys is that I'm here. I'm here. And I want to read some horror stories because I've been wanting to do it and I've been wanting to make it happen. So I hope you guys have a good time. Yeah. Yeah. Let me start from the beginning because I feel like I might have missed out. I might have missed out. Nembida Daily Nana ucroo. Thank you, Chaffee ucroo. Sky Avatar ucroo. Avashahina Maybin Amara Zizi ucroo. This Fantasy Sarge ucroo. Zajawa ucroo. Milk Tea Ryu ucroo. RV Blitz ucroo. Tuesday ucroo. Falca ucroo. Chaotic ucroo. Yum 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 yum. Deluxe Birch ucroo. Reaching 2 years of streaming. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you guys. What kind of horror stories tonight? Basically the ones that you guys have sent me. I will probably put some tags. I think some of the stories that we have are actually like quite in a sense close to home for me because they are all like local stuff. Yeah. Hold on, maybe I need to tweak this. There's a line on my screen, but I know why. Okay, fixed. Congrats on getting 2 years older. Man. 2 years younger. Yeah. Yes, 2 years younger. I realized that some of the links that were on my previous long ago tweet, like last year, some of the links are no longer working, but I tried to search for some of them. I think for today, some of the stories will be a little bit more towards whatever you guys sent me. Most of them will be from Southeast Asia. I hope you guys are ready. I think there's one that's the one that I want to read out first is the one about screaming schoolgirls in Malaysia. They all had this like weird, strange mass hysteria episode that sent waves of shock and horror throughout the school. Kind of scary. I'm aging backwards. Fuck yeah! Okay. So this one would be the mystery of screaming schoolgirls in Malaysia. Schoolgirls is one word in Malaysia. Let me prop this up. Can I adjust the size? Nah, this is fine. Yeah, apparently there's a school. I'm not too sure if let me adjust myself a little, wiggle myself a little bit higher. I'm not too sure if this is, I think this is actually real and what really happened. And this was back in, this article was back in August 2019. Actually right before COVID. What? Thank you so much, RV Blitz. Thank you so much for upgrading to a cuisinier. Cruisinho. Thank you so much. Mwah. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Right, let's begin. The mystery of screaming schoolgirls in Malaysia. It was a quiet Friday morning last July when pandemonium broke out at a school in northeast Malaysia. Siti Nuranisa, a 17-year-old student, was at the center of the chaos. This is her account of what happened. You don't like being smooched? Well, too fucking bad. But thank you. The assembly bells rang. I was at my desk, feeling sleepy when I felt a hard, sharp tap on my shoulder. I turned around to see who it was, and the room went dark. Fear overtook me. I felt a sharp, splitting pain in the back and in my head, and my head started spinning. I fell to the floor. Before I knew it, I was looking into the other world. Scenes of blood, gore, and violence. The scariest thing I saw was a face of pure evil. It was haunting me. I couldn't escape. I opened my mouth and tried to scream, but no sound came out. And then I passed out. Siti's outburst triggered a powerful chain reaction that ripped through the school. Within minutes, students in the other classrooms started screaming, their frantic cries ricocheting through the halls. One girl fainted after claiming to have seen the same dark figure. Classroom doors slammed shut at the Ketere National Secondary School in Kelantan as panicked teachers and students barricaded themselves in. Islamic spiritual healers were called to perform mass prayer sessions. By the end of the day, 39 people were deemed to have been affected by an outbreak of mass hysteria. Mass hysteria, or mass psychogenic illness, as it's also known, is the rapid spread of physical symptoms such as hyperventilation and twitching among a substantial group of people, with no plausible organic cause. It is a collective stress response prompting an overstimulation of the nervous system, says American media sociologist and author Robert Bartholomew. Think of it as a software problem. But that's crazy. How can it be? Mass hysteria is insane. The mechanisms behind mass hysteria are often poorly understood, and it is not listed in the DSM. The DSM is the Manual of Mental Disorders. But psychiatrists like Dr. Simon Wesley from King's College Hospital in London view it as a collective behavior. The symptoms experienced are real: fainting, palpitations, headaches, nausea, shaking, and even fits, he says. It is often attributed to a medical condition, but for which no conventional biomedical explanation can be found. Transmission, he adds, is largely due to psychological and social factors. How can it be? That's insane. What the heck? Outbreaks have been recorded around the world, with cases dating back as early as the Middle Ages. Incidents in Malaysia were particularly prevalent among factory workers during the 1960s. Today, it largely affects children in schools and dormitories. Robert Bartholomew spent decades researching the phenomenon in Malaysia. He calls the Southeast Asian country the mass hysteria capital of the world. Damn. It is a deeply religious and spiritual country where many people, especially those from rural and conservative states, believe in the powers of traditional folklore and the supernatural. But the issue of hysteria remains a sensitive one. In Malaysia, cases have involved adolescent girls from the Malay Muslim ethnic majority more than any other group. There's no denying that mass hysteria is an overwhelmingly female phenomenon. It is the one constant in the academic literature. I can't read. Shit, why did I choose today? But it's crazy. But I do feel that way with Malaysia. Like there's definitely a lot more spirituality in Malaysia. Oh wait, there's more. Surrounded by lush green rice fields, the sleepy Malay village of Padang Lembek sits on the outskirts of Kelantan's capital, Kota Baru. It's a small, tight-knit community where everyone knows each other, the sort of place that would make many Malaysians reminiscence about how their country used to be. There are family-run restaurants, beauty salons, a mosque, and good neighborhood schools. Siti and her family live in a modest single-story terrace house, easily distinguishable by its weathered red roof and green exterior. An old, sturdy motorbike she shares with her best friend, who also lives nearby, is parked right outside the house. We rode it to school on the morning I was possessed by the spirits, Siti says. Like any other teenager, stress affects Siti. She says she felt it most during her final school year in 2018, when all important examinations loomed. I was preparing for weeks, trying to memorize my notes, but something was wrong, she says. It felt like nothing was going into my head. The incident at school during the July study period left Siti unable to sleep or eat properly. It took her a month of rest before she finally returned to her almost regular self. An outbreak of mass hysteria usually begins with what experts call an index case, the first person to be affected. In this story, that is Siti. It doesn't happen overnight, says Robert Bartholomew. It starts with one child and then quickly spreads to others because of an exposure to a pressure cooker environment of stress. If stress is that contagious, damn. And all it takes is a major spike in anxiety in a group situation, like seeing a fellow classmate faint or have a fit, to trigger a reaction in another person. Siti's friend will never forget her best friend in that state. Siti was screaming uncontrollably, she says. No one knew what to do. We were afraid to even touch her. The manic panic episode must have been really scary. My goodness. The girls have always been close, but the events of the past year have strengthened their bond. It helps us to talk about what happened, and it helps us to move on. From the outside, the school looks like any other Malaysian high school. Giant trees shade its premises, and its walls have fresh coats of bright grey and yellow paint. Makcik Zen, the Auntie Zen, Makcik. Makcik or Makcik? I don't know how to pronounce. Makcik Zen runs a popular stall across the street selling local rice dishes. She was preparing food a year ago on the humid July morning when she heard the screams. She could hear it from right across the road. That is insane. The cries were deafening, the elderly vendor says as she serves up
dishes of grilled mackerel, yellow curry, and steaming glutinous rice. She saw at least 9 girls being carried out of their classrooms, kicking and screaming. She recognized some of them as regulars at her stall. It was a heartbreaking sight, she says. She later saw a witch doctor enter a small prayer room with his assistants. They were in there for 4 hours, she recalls. I pity the children for what they must have seen that day. I cannot imagine. Security at the school has been heightened since the July 2018 incident. In order to prevent outbreaks from spiraling again, we restructured our safety program and had a change in staff. Daily prayer and psychology sessions have also been introduced. Safety comes first, but we also know the importance of aftercare for our students. It is unclear what such sessions involve or if they have been designed by mental health professionals, but he would not provide any further details on this. Experts like Robert Bartholomew strongly advocate that Malaysian students be educated about the phenomenon, given its prevalence in the country. They should be taught why mass hysteria happens and how it spreads, he says. It's also important they learn how to cope with stress and anxiety. No shit, son! Malaysian Education Ministry officials have not responded to a request for comment. This school, SMK Ketere, is one of the 68 secondary schools in Kelantan, but it is far from the only one to have witnessed an outbreak. This is insane. In early 2016, mass hysteria took hold of many schools across many schools in the state. What? Really? Wait, let me read that again. In early 2016, mass hysteria took hold across many schools in the state, in Kelantan. That is... what? Officials could not handle the multiple outbreaks and shut all the schools. This local reporter was saying that he and his cameraman remember feeling a febrile atmosphere that April. It was a mass hysteria season and cases were happening non-stop, spreading from one school to another. One case in the nearby town of Pengkalan Jepa attracted significant media attention. Oh, there's another article for this one. Okay, it's another school. Students and teachers were described in reports as becoming possessed after seeing a dark, shadowy figure lurking around the compound. About 100 people were affected. That is insane. Oh my god, they even have a picture of it. Okay. Let me finish this one. This case where 100 people were affected. One of the students who studied there says that she'll remember it as being the most haunted school in all of Malaysia. The scare lasted hours, but it took months for life to return to normal. And when she said that in the article, when she shared that in the article, she was already 18 years old. She shows us a secluded spot next to the basketball court. This is where it first started, she says, pointing to a row of tree stumps. My schoolmates said they saw an elderly woman standing amongst the trees. I couldn't see what they saw, but their reactions were real. Malaysia's fascination with ghosts dates back centuries and is deep-rooted in shamanic tradition and Southeast Asian folk mythology. Children grow up hearing stories about dead infants called toyol, invoked by shamans using black magic, and other terrifying vampiric ghosts like the Pontianak and the Penanggalan? The vengeful, powerful female spirits that feed on the living. trees, and burial sites are common settings for these eerie tales. These locations stoke fears that feed into superstitious beliefs. It's hard to determine what really happened that day in the other haunted school, but officials wasted no time in tackling what they believed to be the source of the problem. We watched from our classrooms as workers came with electric saws to cut down the trees, says the girl. Siti Ain says, the old trees were beautiful and it was sad to see them go, but I understood why. Like many students here, she sees what happened that day not as an outbreak of mass hysteria, but as a supernatural event. But this isn't a phenomenon confined to Islamic schools in deeply religious areas. Dr. Azli Rahman, a US-based Malaysian anthropologist, described an episode of mass hysteria in 1976 at an elite boarding school he attended in a neighboring Kuantan city. What? Mass hysteria is so common! So common in Malaysia. Holy smokes! All hell broke loose during a campus singing competition when a female student claimed to have spotted a smiling Buddhist monk on top of a nearby dormitory. She let out a blood-curdling scream. That is horrible. That is horrible. Witch doctors were brought in to perform exorcisms on 30 affected girls. Their role was to mediate between the living and the dead. But it's important for society today to look to the logical explanations behind these outbreaks. Siti Nuranisa, the one that was in the school, the high school in Kelantan, and her family were given the scientific and medical language of mass hysteria to understand the events of that year. It would hurt any parent to see their child suffer like ours has, says the doting father and a former military man. He insists that nothing was wrong with Siti psychologically. In the wake of the incident, they turned to Zakia, a spiritual healer with 20 years of experience. They even show a picture of him. This is so cool. At his center in Ketere, he greets us with a warm smile. Apa khabar? How are you? He abides by the teachings of the Quran, Islam's holy book, and also believes in the power of jinn, the spirits of in Middle Eastern and Islamic cosmology that appear in a variety of shapes and forms. We share our world with these unseen things, Zakia says, the healer says. They are good or bad and can be defeated by faith. Oh, their pictures. Their pictures. You know what? Maybe I'll show the screen. I'll show my screen after all. This is a little too exciting. Hold on. I can't believe I can't give you guys a visual. Now I need to.
Is this it? Yo. I think this is okay. Here. And then here. 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 And then here. Maybe I'll move this up here.
Look! Okay, this is him. This is the healer. This is the spiritual healer that they were talking to. Zakia. Even a very cool name. Cursed items. These are cursed items. You can see the scriptures. Scriptures on it. Islamic scriptures adorn the center's bright green walls. Bottles of holy water are stacked up high near its entrance. In a corner by the window, a collection of mysterious objects are gathered on the table. Rusty knives, combs, orbs, and even a dried seahorse. These are cursed items, Zakia warns. Please do not touch anything. Yo! 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 Zakia met Siti Nuranisa at the school. I've been guiding Siti and she has been getting better with my help, he says proudly. He shows me a video of another girl he treated. She is seen thrashing around wildly on the floor and screaming before being restrained by 2 men. Yes, dried seahorse. Minutes later, Zakia enters the room and approaches the visibly distressed girl. He holds her head and chants Islamic verses, and she appears to calm down. More articles about the exorcist, let's go. Women are softer and physically weaker, he tells us. That makes them more susceptible to spiritual possession. He professes to understand that mental health plays a role in many of the cases he sees, but is emphatic about the power of jinn. Science is important, but it can't fully explain the supernatural, he says. Non-believers won't understand these attacks unless it happens to them. Hysteria kit! Yo! Yo! This is an anti-hysteria kit that costs... Okay, back in 2019 when this article was released, this costs more than $2,000. Guys. Ammonia inhalants? What? Spray? Huh. A more controversial approach comes from a team of Islamic academics in Pahang, the largest state in Peninsular Malaysia, priced at a hefty 8,750 Malaysian ringgit. The anti-hysteria kit they offer consists of items including formic acid, ammonia inhalants, pepper spray, and bamboo pincers. Yeah, I think it's a... I don't know what to say, man. I'm speechless. It is crazy. According to the Quran, evil spirits are unable to tolerate such items. What? Our kids have been used by 2 schools and solved more than 100 cases. He says there's no scientific evidence to back up these claims. Bruh. The kit drew widespread criticism upon its release. Former Minister Khairi Jamaluddin called it the mark of a backward society. It's nonsensical, absurd superstition. We want Malaysians to be scientific and innovative, not remain entrenched in supernatural beliefs. But clinical psychologists like Irma Ismail and from University Putra, Malaysia, do not discount such beliefs when it comes to mass hysteria cases. Malaysian culture has its own take on the phenomenon, she says. A more realistic approach is integrating spiritual beliefs with adequate mental health treatment. Is this Kelantan's capital city, Kota Baru? So there's quite a few schools here, and this is one of the bigger areas. But can you imagine, like, multiple schools within the area all have mass hysteria? That's freaking insane. In the 1970s, right? Yeah. If Malaysia is the mass hysteria capital of the world, Kelantan on the northeast coast is ground zero. It is no coincidence that Kelantan, the most religiously conservative of all Malaysian states, is also one of the most prone to outbreaks. Huh. Known as the Muslim majority nation's Islamic heartland, Kelantan is one of the 2 states ruled by the conservative opposition Malaysian Islamic Party, BAS. Unlike the rest of the country, Kelantan's week follows the Islamic calendar. Oh! With the working week beginning on Sundays and ending on Thursdays to free up Fridays for prayers. This is a different side of Malaysia. Is it still the same now? It reached many news headlines too. That means, yo, they can't hide this shit. They can't make this up, right? There's no way. There's no way. This is a different side of Malaysia, says Ruhaida Ramli, a sprightly 82-year-old vendor at the local supermarket. Life here is simple. It isn't busy or stressful like it is in Kuala Lumpur. Are religion and supernatural beliefs related? Academic Afiq Noor argues that the stricter implementation of Islamic law in school in states such as Kelantan is linked to the surge in outbreaks. Really? Malay Muslim girls attend school under rigid religious discipline, he says. They observe stricter dress codes and can't listen to music which isn't Islamic. Oh. The theory is that such constricted environment could be creating more anxiety. Similar outbreaks have also been reported in Catholic convents and monasteries across Mexico, Italy, and France, in schools in Kosovo, and even among cheerleaders in a rural North Carolina town. Carolina town. Mexico! The town that nearly danced itself to death? Yo! Still the same, I see. Not sure about now. Didn't hear much about it these days. Maybe they try to keep it under wraps, because there was a lot more connected now. Whatever goes out will perpetuate out online, right? Just like Amos Yee and Singapore being mentioned internationally. Fuck my life, honestly. Of all things to get international acclaim, it's of all things for the world to notice about Singapore, it's him. Fuck. Anyway, each case is unique. The cultural context is different and hence the form varies. But it ultimately remains the same phenomenon, and researchers argue that the impact of strict conservative cultures on those affected by mass hysteria is clear. So there is to them some correlation. To clinical psychologists like Stephen Diamond, wow, what a name, the painful, frightening, and embarrassing symptoms often associated with mass hysteria could be indicative of a frustrated need for attention. That's crazy. That's crazy. Might their remarkable symptoms be saying something about how they are really feeling inside, but are unable or unwilling to allow themselves to consciously acknowledge, feel, or verbalize? He wrote in a 2002 article for Psychology Today. 2019 has been a quiet year for Siti Nurhanisa. I've been doing okay. It has been calm for me, she says. I haven't seen bad things for months now. She's lost touch with much of a cohort after graduating from the school, but this doesn't bother her. She tells me she's always kept a small circle of friends. She's now taking a break from study before going to university, and that's when COVID hit. Aww, that's how we forget. Her cat's name is Jomel. Jomel. Aww. On the day we meet, she shows me a shiny black microphone. Oh wow. Okay, this is just her I think past the hysteria. Pop songs by Katy Perry, a homegrown Malaysian diva, Siti Nurhaliza are favorites. Siti Nurhaliza is insane. She is cracked. I love her singing. Singing proved to be one great stress reliever. Yes, that's true. Gain some confidence, traumatic incidents, stress makes my body weak, learn how to manage it, be normal and happy. That's a dad. Aww. Wants to be a policewoman. Okay. So that was the article. So it was linked to this other article. Yeah, let me shoot this up real quick. Trim it down real quick. Pretty fitting name. Steven Stone's brother. Steven Diamond. Steven Ruby. So this was the other serious mass hysteria outbreak in a Malaysian school. In a school in Malaysia. Pardon the phrasing. But they managed to take a picture of it. Malaysian journalists tweeted this picture, allegedly taken by a student at the school. Damn. Okay. A school in northern Malaysia has had to shut temporarily to handle what local media have called a case of mass hysteria. It started last week with several students and teachers in the school in the city of Kota Baru claiming that they had seen spirits or had supernatural experiences. Damn. Insane. School authorities shut the school and called in Islamic traditional experts, scholars, and even witch doctors in prayer sessions and exorcisms. My God. By Sunday, the school had reopened and school officials said things had gone back to normal. But questions remain, and the case continues to generate intense interest in Malaysia. So what happened? Singapore mentioned. Last week, a small group of students began claiming that they had seen a black figure lurking in the school. Soon, more students and even teachers claimed to have seen the same figure or experienced a supernatural presence. One teacher told the local news channel that she felt a heavy presence was hanging onto her, while another claimed that the black figure was attempting to enter her body. A student meanwhile told newspaper Sinar Harian that he felt numbness in his hands while his mind was all over the place. About 100 people, mostly students, but teachers and senior staff were affected. Damn, our students were possessed and disturbed by these spirits. We are not sure why it happened. We don't know what it is that affected us. But the place is a bit old and the students can be disobedient and sometimes throw their rubbish around the school grounds. Perhaps they hit some jinns and offended the spirits, she added, using a local reference to the ghosts. The school shut on Thursday and invited Islamic preachers to recite the Quran and conduct prayers in the school. Local education authorities are also sending counselors to the school that week. I just cannot imagine 100 people were all affected. They all shared the same fear, hysteria, and the fact that they needed to close the school on a Thursday. So Friday, okay, so they go by the Islamic calendar, right? So the week ends on Thursday. No, the week ends on Friday. Friday is for prayers. Thursday, so school ends on Thursday and the week starts on Sunday. So they had a whole weekend to exorcise the school. Several famous cases of mass hysteria or collective delusion have been documented throughout history all over the world, including dancing mania. Centuries ago, dancing mania? They danced to their death? Which people reportedly start dancing uncontrollably for hours? Yo. Heard of dancing mania? Huh? Is it New York? In 2012, Leroy, New York. In 2012, Leroy, New York? What? New York made headlines with high school students developing strange tics and verbal outbursts with no obvious cause. Eventually, the New York State Department of Health found that those involved, mostly girls, were suffering from a conversion disorder, a form of mass hysteria. Conversion disorder? The HPV vaccine or decades-old chemical spill were initially thought to be the blame. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Leroy, New York? Dancing Mania? Okay, I low-key want to check it out. How do I? Never mind. Let me go through this first. Southeast Asia during 1970s is very common apparently. Wait, in Singapore too. In Southeast Asia during the 1970s, there were several reported cases of mass hysteria outbreaks at factories in Malaysia and Singapore. This is from Straits Times, yo. Straits Times, our local newspaper, yo. What the heck? But this was in 2016. Stop! I don't want ads. Okay. But the one that had 36 Muslim girls in the Malay hostel in Alor Star, Kedah, lasted 5 years? What? It's quite common in rural areas of the country, apparently. 1987, there was an outbreak, 36 Muslim girls in a Malay hostel in Kedah, which lasted 5 years. The outbreak involved shouting, running, mental confusion, crying, bizarre moments, trances, and spirit possession. The girls ages 13 to 17 complained of too much religion and study and too little recreation. Malays are susceptible because of their belief in an array of spirits. Damn. Wait, what's this mass hysteria article from Straits Times? Huh. Koro epidemic in October 1967. Here's a look at some of the reported cases in Singapore. Do not fear Koro. What? One of the earliest reported cases of mass hysteria was medical in nature. Rumors had first spread on October 28, 1967 that eating pork caused Koro, a retraction of the male sexual organ. Tak halal. Panic ensued as an average of 80 people called daily at the outdoor dispensaries of government hospitals claiming to be suffering from the disease. Holy shit! They Kirk, hello! Dancing makes sense now? What? Eat pork. Low sexual male performance. Pork is poisonous. What? Health Ministry press conference was subsequently called to dispel the rumors and to clarify that Koro was not connected to consuming pork. A panel of medical experts pinpoint psychological fear as the main cause of the epidemic. Wild. This is wild. You see crying and eating pork. Huh? Bacon? Ham? The epidemic was apparently so severe it led to almost a standstill in the sale of pork in both markets, eating stalls and restaurants in Singapore. Yo, the panic is real, yo. General Electric? 1973. On January 1973, a case occurred at the company's flattered factory in Boon Keng Road when 8 female employees became hysterical. There is no report of a second incident, but on January 17, a third incident was said to have happened, with as many as 25 women on the factory's U-board assembly line affected. Part of the factory was subsequently shut down that afternoon. One of the women said, "It was frightening. The women went into a trance and started screaming. Yo. If that happens, what would you guys do if you see it happening? I would just 180. I would just 180 and skedaddle. Yo. Oh my goodness. Another said they had not taken the first incident seriously, but it certainly gave cause for concern when another 12 became hysterical on Tuesday and about 25 today. The numbers add up, yo. 8, 12, 25. They started multiplying. Turn 360 degrees and walk away. I have bad news for you. 360 degrees means you're walking straight up. Pork is too good to pass. I kinda agree. I love bacon. I also scream so I don't feel left out. Is that why they do it? No way. No freaking way. But it just cannot be explained. Pon Food Manufacturing 1973. Okay. It's not just General Electric. There's one more. Wait, what's this? Pon Food Manufacturing, October 1973. A dozen of them. At the food company's factory in Little Road off Upper Paya Lebar. They produce dried cuttlefish, employed 120 workers, mostly women, closed for the day immediately after its workers were taken ill at around noon. Oh, there's like an official statement from the company. Yo, the mass hysteria at Orchard National and Regional Telephone Operations from Operations Room on October affected 16 telephonists. The incident began at 4:30 p.m. and started screaming. I hope I'm back. I lost you guys. I lost you guys for a moment. Where was I? But basically, telecommunications company, Pon Food Manufacturing, the mass hysteria for pork, and a secondary school, a high school. Yeah. What? Yo. It's all in the 1970s. That's one thing I observed. The report said, for 3 days, a frightening epidemic sent one student after another into frenzied trance-like states. While some cried, shivered, and started eating the grass and empty glasses, others stared into empty space with open eyes while performing a Tai Chi style type of dance movement called the Kuda Kepang, an ancient Malay wedding dance. Can I read that again? Hold on. Some cried, shivered, and started eating grass and glass. And the rest, some stared into space, into empty space with open eyes, okay, while performing a Tai Chi type of dance movement called the Kuda Kepang, ancient Malay wedding dance that's creep. Oh my god. General Electric again? No freaking way. Hold on. Some were restrained from their violent fits by teachers. No one could communicate with them during the violent fits and trances. 28 students gave different accounts of legless apparitions which appeared before them. Oh my goodness. Wait, General Electric, how many times? 6 years after the first wave of incidents, the factory again got affected. Yo. Another factory, Bedok South. Oh my god. But there were a few. Okay. Aside from the mass hysteria, maybe let's look into some of the there's this one that I was looking at, but wait, let me find it. I found it and I think it was along the lines of a forest in Sweden, I think. Let me find it. But yeah, that's some food for thought. If it ever happens to you, if the people around you get affected, what would you do? What would you do? I would really... Man, no idea, man. No idea. Okay, I was looking for this one called in Romania. I think it's the one... Bashu Forest. It's the world's most haunted forest in the world. I just said world's most in the world. I am stupid. It's like the Bermuda Triangle of Romania. But forest. It looks nice, but it also looks really creepy at night. Damn. Huh. But yeah. So yeah, we were reading quite a few articles about mass hysteria. I think we just put this as mass hysteria in Malaysia/Singapore. That makes more sense. This one is a little bit away from home. A little more magical, I guess. How scary is this one? Let me see if there's like YouTube videos that maybe it'll explain it. But I want to read. Hold on. Yum. Hoya. I don't even know how to pronounce this. But it's Europe's... in the heart of Transylvania. UFO sightings, disembodied voices of spirits, strange animal sightings, everything. It has everything. Oh my god. I wonder if there's a game based off this forest. Do I even know how to pronounce this? Hold on. Give me a moment. I hope he gets the pronunciation right. Hoyabachu. The forest of Hoyabachu. Okay, let me bring this up to the screen. Hoyabachu.
Give me a moment. Loading it up. Okay, guys. This is an article about the Hoya Bachu forest. You guys know of this one? A lot of stress-induced psychosis. Yeah. Electrical waves, surely? Oh, we are very exposed. We are way more exposed to the waves. Radiation. Way more. Way more than the people in the 1970s. That doesn't make sense. Okay. I can't read names. Oh no, here we go. Oh, this is a recent article. The Hoya Bachu Forest. I can't read this. How do you read this? How do you read this? Pronunciation. Cluj-Napoca. The Cluj-Napoca. Okay, give me a moment. I need to step away for a really quick moment. Back. I'm Audica and I'm back. Okay. How do you pronounce this again? Cluj-Napoca. How do you pronounce this?
PronounceNames.com. Cluj-Napoca.
Cluj-Napoca. Cluj-Napoca. Okay, we got it. In Romania, near the city of Cluj-Napoca, you can find 617 acres of Hoya Baciu forest. Locals rather avoid the centuries-old forest, for it is known as Romania's Bermuda Triangle. Some people who go into the woods never return. And then there is that mysterious void in the center of the forest. The ancient Hoya Baciu forest is named after a shepherd who disappeared into the woods along with his 200 sheep over a century ago. They were never seen again. But there are more recent disappearances as well. Things such as clothes and bones are never found. They just simply vanish into thin air. People think these strange happenings have something to do with the large amount of UFO sightings that have been reported here. Most of these UFO sightings occurred in the 70s, in fact. Some of these sightings were even caught on tape. People who live near the forest refuse to set foot in it. Many claim to see strange light anomalies on the edge of the forest. According to the legend, these are the spirits of murdered farmers who lost their lives long ago. People who are brave enough to enter the Hoya Baciu forest feel restless and agitated. They strongly feel being watched and they lose track of time. Also, people who visit the strange forest appear to have migraine attacks, feel nauseous,
get rash all over their bodies, burns, scratches, and other strange phenomena. Many eyewitnesses claim to have seen ghosts and faces appear in pictures that couldn't have been seen by the naked eye. Electronic devices refuse to work and female voices are heard. People claim to remember all kinds of things from the past when in the forest, but completely forget about them when they walk out of it. The trees in the Hoyabachu forest have weird forms and shapes. That also gives a creepy vibe to the place. When the wind blows through the strangely shaped branches, skin-crawling sounds are heard. It seems as if the forest is talking to you. Strange, dancing lights are often seen too. The perfectly round spot, clear spot right in the middle of the forest is a mystery as well. Scientists did a soil investigation there, but nothing indicated the cause of the absence of vegetation. The soil is perfectly fine. The whole forest is of great attraction to scientists from all over the world because of this. Psychic mediums claim the void is a portal to the paranormal. Human forms are seen at this spot, like shadow figures, but most people are positive the round void is caused by UFOs that use the void for landing. Years ago, a little 5-year-old girl got lost in the forest. A big search was organized, but unfortunately, she was nowhere to be found. People lost hope in finding her. But 5 years after she disappeared, she showed up again, alive and well. She was still wearing the same clothes she wore on the day of her disappearance. What? She couldn't recall anything that happened the past 5 years. So, where did she go? How was she able to keep herself alive? The Romanian winters are quite brutal. All kinds of wild stories were brought up by people. Some claim the forest is a portal to a parallel universe, as if you can time travel. How's that possible? That's frigging insane. What? Wearing the same clothes 5 years later? Time warp? Maybe? What? The Hoyabachu forest today. People cannot be forbidden to enter the woods, even though locals avoid the place. People interested in the paranormal from all over the world want to visit the forest. Also, people love coming to the place to do yoga and meditate. Why? Why? Sayang, careful behind. Ucroo, I miss you. If it's you behind me, I'll be happy. How are you, sayang? One thing's for sure, this forest proves Romania is a paranormal mystery. What? What? I want to know more. What else is creepy? I need to read a story from this. But this is, why would people come here to do yoga? Hell nah. No way. No freaking way. And go there. Hi, I'm good. Miss you so much. I miss you too. I'm sorry I haven't been replying much messages. Aduh. There's photographs of a UFO in the forest. Damn, all the Reddit titles got my attention. Some of them are. Oh my god, the trees! What? The heck? The trees are creepy, yo! She reads ghost stories while ghosting me too. Miss you so much. I'll miss you too. The trees are creepy as heck, man. Hundreds of people who visited have said they left with burns, rashes, nausea, physical damage, and many other horrific symptoms. Yo. Cluj Naposhka. Near the open section of ethnographic museum in Transylvania. The forest is used as a common recreation destination. In recent years... What? Recent years, a biking park has been added to the forest? Along with areas for other sports such as paintball, airsoft, and archery? Here's a link about those particular trees. I'm from Transylvania. The trees are... I get what they mean. Damn. The trees are not straight. I was gonna say the same thing. All this is like last year. Bermuda Triangle of Romania. It is known as the Bermuda Triangle of Romania due to the odd patterns the trees grow in, the clearing where nothing grows at all, and the strange amount of legends and disappearances that have taken place within. Did someone just copy the article? Yes, they did. What? Local tour guides offer nighttime excursions where visitors walk the darkened paths with only flashlights and thermal cameras to capture potential paranormal activity? Would you guys go for this kind of tourism? Would you guys follow a tour guide into a very haunted place and throw you some paranormal gear and a little flashlight for a glimpse of visibility? Would you guys go? I don't know if I would ever. Some would leave the forest unshaken and skeptical. Others claim to experience things they can't explain. Ghost hunters, thrill seekers, UFO enthusiasts flock to the forest each year in hopes of witnessing something unexplainable. I would if I have a gun with me for safety against humans, not ghosts. Damn. I was gonna say that you shouldn't take a gun because it would be very dangerous if you were paranoid. You don't know who you might accidentally pull the trigger on, you know? Nah, you gotta go alone for the vibes. That right there is natural selection. Bro, no. Nuh-uh. Perfect place to take shrooms. Bruh. Joshua Trees. Wait. Horabachu Forest. Name of the Shepherd. Yo, the trees. They kind of make my arm hairs stand. Yo, the trees are... Wait, is there anything about the trees? Forest phenomena over 6 decades. But the trees, why are they like this? Oh my god. Oh my god. And then there's the clearing that I had to bring across on some holy water. What if they don't work? What if it doesn't work? Yeah, that's the thing. They have, I think it's weird because they have like soil samples from in the circle, in the clearing and outside the clearing, and it's the same. Nothing explains it. According to the legend, hundreds of Romanian peasants were murdered in the Hoabaciu forest sometime before the birth of Christ. And locals believe that the spirits of these villagers still roam the land. Others speculate that the forest is home to some invisible time rift or gateway into another realm. Whatever is to be believed, many Romanians who live near the Hoa are convinced that they should enter the forest, that should they enter the forest, they will never come back, and thus avoid it at all costs. Oh my goodness. Wait, is there explanation for the trees? Look at it! Oh my god. You can't make this shit up. This is right out of like Junji Ito. Yeah, this looks right out of Junji Ito. Oh. The Mystery of the Crooked Forest. Poland's? I can't read. Oh, there's only a specific number of trees. They're pine trees. They're pine... What? Huh? 80 pine... About 8... A group of 8... A group of about 80 pine trees breaks all norms by growing sideways at the base, prompting all kinds of creative theories about their origin, including gravity fluctuations, Nazis, and even aliens. What? Nature is amazing, man. Yeah, but I wouldn't expect pine trees to grow like that, yo. It's like, it's not just a curve from the beginning. It's really a sharp bend from the bottom. You guys see that? It's like Captain Hook. The story starts as any good mystery novel should, with an obscured origin story. It's estimated that the trees were planted in the early 1930s, and experts have determined that the deformation occurred when the trees were just 5 to 7 years old. At the time, the region was part of Germany, but history would soon throw a veil over what exactly happened. So these are some of the theories about the origin of the trees. As war broke out across Europe, many lives and stories were lost, including the origin of the Crooked Forest. One theory based on the time period is a Nazi tank rode over the young trees, bending them 90 degrees. This makes sense visually, since the vast majority of the trees are bent in the same direction. They're bent towards the north. By the way. But loses speed when considering the larger picture of the forest. The bent trees are surrounded by hundreds of normal trees, so there is no path a tank could have taken to damage just a small patch of saplings. Furthermore, if the trees were bent so radically by the threads, it's more likely that they wouldn't survive the experience. Even so, the possibility can't be ruled out. Huh? What? Other theories are more creative. One such theory is a gravitational fluctuation, similar to the Oregon vortex in the United States. Although it's an interesting supernatural explanation, these kinds of events are simply optical illusions and don't hold up to scientific scrutiny. One of the most outlandish theories is that the trees were crushed by an alien spacecraft, similar to crop circles. Crop circles themselves were debunked long ago, so it's unlikely that the theory holds any water. What? The crop circles aren't real? I thought they were. It's best to leave explanations of aliens' experimental Nazi magnetic fields to documentaries on History Channel. The most likely explanation is that the trees were intentionally modified to produce a naturally curved material for furniture or buildings. makes the most sense, yeah. The process takes years to pay off, but has been documented going back hundreds of years. That kind of makes sense. What is this? Oh, there's a tree shaping artist. That scared the shit out of me. Yo. Tree shaping is an art form. Just like Japanese bonsai curation. Damn. Although this is the most plausible answer, no one really knows what happened to the trees. At this point, it is unlikely that the true cause will ever be known. But fortunately, the trees are still around to spark the imaginations of future visitors for years to come. Damn. I don't know if I can full screen this. He's at the clearing! He found something weird and unsettling.
There's this huge cross. I mean, it's really.
Yo.
I'm not an English native speaker, but I've been to Hoyabaciu, and I'm in this famous spot. I think it's called Pollana Rotunda, and there's this huge cross. I mean, it's really big. I'm like, my head is here, and look, it's huge, and it says ACM right there. There's that sign. It's like a double cross.
A double cross?
That's like there has been fires here. Somebody
must have lit
fire.
Yep.
A couple of them actually.
Damn.
And it's really weird because I haven't seen anything related to this on the internet, and that cross is not on images about this place on the internet. So
oh my god.
There was a pickup car going through here like when we were just arriving, and we tried to hide because it was going like really slow. Like it stopped right there, like it did a weird movement with the car, and then it left. And this is what we found. It's really weird. I don't know if any of you might...
Trees with a gyat, what the tree shaping is cool. People have made bridges. True. This looks... oh my goodness. This looks borderline satanic. I don't know. Actually insane. No thanks. Oh my god, this is a really long article. Okay, let's do the we have a bit more time, so let's do a army camp ghost stories. Army camp ghost stories. Oh ho ho ho. Even the sight is scary. This is mostly this is Singaporean, because there is, even growing up, there is a lot of like stuff about being in the army. Let me sip some water first. Okay. For most of my viewers, you guys are not from Singapore, so a little context. Men who choose to leave and grow up in Singapore, it is mandatory for them to serve military for 2 years. And amongst friends and families, it is often just coined national service, or what they'll just abbreviate it. We abbreviate a lot of shit. We call it NS. Yeah. And then when most of the time conversations between guys when they just know each other for the first time, when they're gonna get acquainted, they were like, hey, you're from where? Which camp are you from? Army camps are known for having the ghost stories. Yeah, let's go. Let's freaking go. What do you mean crew can be Singaporean lah? Hey, that's so deliberate. The la is so unnatural. Yeah, I know you're not. I know you're not. I can tell, Frost. I mean, it's in your name. PH. Step into the eerie world of army camp ghost stories from Southeast Asia, where chilling encounters and haunted tales have been passed down through generations of servicemen. I vaguely remember I've shared with you guys one which I know because I personally know this person. And apparently his story was kind of circulating amongst the camps during that period. Maybe I'll share that later. Maybe I'll share that one later. Let's just go through some of them. In Singapore, Pulau Tekong is notorious for its ghost stories. In Singapore, Pulau Tekong is notorious for its ghost stories, particularly the tale of the 3-door bunk. What? I do not know this one. As Frost SG can. The la isn't working, yo. The la isn't organic. The la doesn't sound right. You don't just juxtapose, and I'll slap on a slang. It doesn't work that way, Frost. I mean, we could become Singaporean. How? Don't explain how. I don't think I want to know. 3-door bunk. Recruits have reported sightings of a deceased comrade in their bunks and a strange phenomena that led to the addition of a 3rd door in one of the bunks to allow a trapped spirit to escape. Okay, I think I vaguely remember this one. Yeah, they need to purposely build a 3rd door. Yes, I've heard of this one. Another well-known haunting involves the ghostly figures around Jacob's Ladder, where a weeping female ghost is said to appear, terrifying those who dare to patrol the area at night. There's another one at Nee Soon Camp. Where is Nee Soon? Is that UT? Nee Soon Camp is another hotspot for paranormal activity. The infamous White House at this camp is rumored to be haunted by a soldier who repeats his suicide nightly. The sounds of footsteps and unsettling noises are commonly reported, making it a dreaded place for night duty. I can easily act as a Singaporean. Maybe? I don't know. I feel like the vibe can be disguised, I guess. Add la to every sentence to it becomes Singaporean la. No, that made me. That is for us. I don't know what you're doing. No, it doesn't work that way. No. Amoy Key Camp has its own share of ghostly tales. Okay, you know what? There's so many. Let's just... Categories? Locked toilet in Pasilaba. Ooh, okay. There's cabin crew ghost stories. Army camp ghost stories. Okay, guys, which one do you all want? Do you guys want coffins? Add that to every sentence becomes Italian. Oh man, no, bruh. Oh my god, I just clicked the coffins one. Okay, let's go to this coffin story. Selarang Camp? Where is Selarang Camp? It's near Changi. Okay, this is more towards the... Changi is known as the eastern part of Singapore, where... that's where our airport is. Yeah. Selarang Camp... Selarang Camp, located in Changi, Singapore, bears a dark and storied history. Constructed by the British between the 1936 and Between 1936 and 1938, it gained notoriety during the Second World War when it was repurposed as a Japanese prisoner of war camp. Thousands of Allied soldiers, predominantly British and Australian, were confined there under brutal conditions, witnessing and enduring unspeakable horrors. Torture! Damn. Let me make this bigger. Today, the camp remains in active use, housing the 9th Division and 3rd Singapore Infantry Regiment. Despite its current function, the camp's past continues to haunt it, with persistent tales of ghostly apparitions and eerie encounters. One of the most chilling legends involved the appearance of coffins on the parade square during rainy days, a haunting reminder of its tragic history. What the fuck? As storm clouds gathered over Selarang camp, the air grew thick with anticipation. Corporal Ahmad, a duty clerk with the 3 SIR, had heard the stories. Whispers of coffins appearing on the parade square during heavy rain. He dismissed them as mere campfire tales designed to spook the new recruits. Yet, as he gazed out of the company office window at the darkening sky, a shiver ran down his spine. That evening, the rain began to fall in earnest, a relentless downpour echoing through the empty corridors of the camp. Ahmad sat at his desk, reading the news on the Straits Times, when a sudden chill filled the room. He glanced at the clock. Midnight. The rain hammered against the windows, and a sense of uneasiness settled over him. Unable to shake the feeling, Ahmad decided to walk to the vending machine at the next block to buy some drinks. He donned his poncho and stepped out into the night. The parade square was deserted, illuminated by only the dim glow of the perimeter lights. As he trudged through the rainwater to the next block, he couldn't help but recall the stories he'd heard from his fellow soldiers. They say the coffins appear where the old execution grounds used to be, Private Lim had whispered one night. His voice barely audible. I did not read that in a whisper. It's the spirits of those who suffered here, unable to find peace. Ahmad shook his head, trying to dispel the uneasy feeling. As he was walking towards the vending machine, Ahmad's heart skipped a beat. There, shrouded in mist and rain, stood a row of wooden coffins in the center of the parade square. They were old, their surfaces weathered and worn. He blinked, convinced it was a trick of the light. But the coffins remained, solid and real. As if in the trance, Ahmad felt an irresistible pull towards the coffins, his curiosity battling with the growing sense of dread. The rain poured relentlessly, creating a steady rhythm that seemed to synchronize with the pounding of his heart. Each step he took echoed in the empty parade square, the mist swirling around him like a ghostly shroud. The closer he got, the more palpable the air became, heavy with the scent of damp earth and decaying wood. Memories of the camp's haunting stories flooded his mind, amplifying his unease. His breath quickened, forming misty clouds in the cold night air. As he approached the row of coffins, Ahmad's hesitation grew. They stood in a solemn line, their surfaces worn and weathered by time, a stark contrast to the modern surroundings of the camp. Despite the surreal scene before him, he felt compelled to confirm its reality. Slowly, he extended his hand, half expecting his fingers to pass through the apparition. To his astonishment, the wood was solid and cold under his touch, sending a chill up his spine. The texture was rough and splintered, a tangible connection to the camp's grim past. Ahmad's mind raced, filled with an overwhelming sense of sorrow and despair that seemed to emanate from the coffin themselves. He felt as if he could hear the echoes of the souls who had suffered and perished within the camp's confines, their anguish lingering in the very air he breathed. A sudden flash of lightning illuminated the square, and Ahmad gasped. Standing at the far end of the row of coffins was a figure, dressed in the tattered uniform of a Second World War soldier. The man's eyes were hollow, his face gaunt and pale. He raised a skeletal hand and pointed towards Ahmad. Why are you here? Ahmad whispered, his voice trembling. The figure's mouth moved, but no sound emerged. Instead, a flood of images filled Ahmad's mind, overwhelming him with senses of torment and suffering. He saw men huddled together in makeshift shelters, their faces etched with fear and despair. Allied soldiers alongside Japanese guards appeared in his mind's eye, all bound by the brutal history that had unfolded within these walls. The agony of starving, the hopelessness of captivity, and the relentless march of disease played out before him in a horrific tableau. Ahmad's vision was filled with the pained expression of soldiers who had once walked the same grounds. He could almost hear the murmurs of their desperate conversations, feel the weight of their lost hope. It was as if the walls themselves were whispering the stories of those who had suffered and perished there. Tears streamed down Ahmad's face as he witnessed their pain. He realized that the coffins before him were not just symbols of death, but representations of unfulfilled duty and unresolved grief. The spirits of the past were trapped in this place, seeking recognition and remembrance. The weight of their sorrow pressed down on him, a palpable force that seemed to merge with the storm around him. Another flash of lightning illuminated the scene, and the spectral figure vanished, leaving Ahmad alone with the fading coffins. As the mist swallowed them up, Ahmad fell to his knees, overcome by the intensity of the experience. His body shook with the emotional weight he had just borne to witness to, and he found himself unable to rise, his strength sapped by the encounter. When the COS found Ahmad unconscious in the middle of the parade square, they quickly transported him to the camp's medical center. Upon assessing his condition, the medics determined that he needed more comprehensive care. Ahmad was rushed to Changi Hospital, where he was admitted and placed under intensive observation. His initial symptoms included a high fever and severe dehydration. But as the medical team began their treatment, they noticed something more alarming. Ahmad experienced vivid hallucinations, often murmuring about coffins and ghostly figures. Deeply concerned by these symptoms, the doctors kept him under close watch. They suspected that the stress of his duties, combined with the high fever, had induced him a state of delirium. As a result, Ahmad was downgraded and relieved of any future guard duties to ensure a complete recovery. Dude never recovered. Yo. I actually felt a sudden emotional weight before at my school, which has ghost chasers in the past. What? Wow, that's insane. Ghost cases. Damn. I've never experienced something like this, I guess. How do I go back, yo? Okay, I do imagine, yeah, I think it's like emotional wash. I wonder if there's anything they can do at the parade square to like honor them, give the spirits recognition. It feels like it's something that they needed to acknowledge. And you could tell that this website, it was just done one time in July and August of 2024. And I could feel the writing of a local writer. Does this even make sense? But feeling an emotional weight in school, damn. Was your school ghost chasers? Oh, I don't know. That sounds scary. That sounds really scary. Too scary. Too scary. Okay, I want one that has a ghost. Okay. Kiet Hong Camp. Wait, is that the one with the door? Oh, the locked toilet door one. Lunar Ghost Month. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's just go with this one. But maybe there's no ghost. I want the encounter. I want the encounter. Okay, this one has an encounter. Either this one or the one with the ghostly figure. Okay, I'm gonna read one more. Kiet Hong Camp. Kiet Hong is somewhere in the western part of Singapore. There's like camps all scattered around the country. So this one is the haunted locker of Kiet Hong Camp. The oppressive humidity of a typical August evening in Singapore clung to the skin like a damp cloth. I swear, the writing, the descriptive words, it's so Singaporean. I don't know how else to describe it. Oh my god, what the? Ancient ghosts from Coffin Hill, Batangan. Since today is the start of the Hungry Ghost Month, how reassuring. I guess a haunting story would serve as a great opening. Everything being said here is from first-hand source. I didn't make up anything. Let's start by calling the three guys in this story Robert, David, and Yusuf. Okay, I mean, I'm vested in this one right now. Agop Batu Tulog is about 40 meters high and houses 125 log coffins. They are of at least 600 to 900 years old. Caves containing coffins? Holy smokeroonie. Let me get a zap on for this one. There are coffins here. Sorry, I got a little bit turned off by the writing because it's quite. It hits a little bit too close to home. Okay, let's do this one. Ancient ghosts from the Coffin Hill of Batangan. In 2005 or 2006, Robert, David and Yusuf were on a road trip to tour around east coast of Sabah. One of their stops is Agop Batu Tuluk, which is located next to the highway between Sandakan and Lahat Datu. Agop Batu Tuluk literally means sleeping rock cave in local language, and is a 40-meter high limestone pinnacle with a few big caves that store about 125 wood coffins from 600 to 900 years ago. Basically, you can call it a coffin hill. Coffin hill. As a burial site, Agop Batu Tuluk doesn't receive a lot of tourists. It is under the care of Sabah State Museum and open to public. Anyway, it's highly accessible and visible by the roadside, so these three guys decided to pay a visit. They bought the tickets, then walked up to the hill to explore the caves with old coffins. Is this the... Wait, Colin, you sent me the... This is near your school? Is this your... What? Okay, I'm going to continue reading. At first, they checked out the caves in the lower levels, which houses coffins for ordinary people. It's not ordinary to have coffins in the hill, in the cave. A staff on duty told them that the human remains in the coffin were A staff on duty told them that the human remains in the coffin were transferred to the museum, so they assumed all the coffins are empty. Which is not true. This is your uncle's place? I hear a lot of stuff from him happening there. Oh my goodness. Cave burial with log coffin was used to be a practice by Orang Sungai and Murut Tanggara living in the upstream of Kinabatangan Plain. The reason why they did it still remains a mystery. Most wooden coffins are carved from one big chunk of Belian log, Borneo ironwood, which is a very dense and heavy type of wood that sinks instead of floating on the water. That is very high density. Later, Robert reached Agop Sawat, the highest cave that has the best collection of ancient coffins. The coffins in this cave belong to VIP, such as village chiefs, upper class, and warriors. You can tell their status. By looking at the buffalo head decoration and motifs on the motifs and carvings on the coffin. Sorry, I need to rephrase a little with the article. There are even virgin forests, sacred forests there too, extremely dark. Even in the day and lots of happenings. That's terrifying. Oh my goodness. In Sabah. That's a lot. 100 over coffins. Oh my... Yeah, the wood is actually really dense. This is where the friend or the third person they're referring to offended the deceased. This is a real photo. Oh my goodness. David said, the coffins seem heavy. I wonder why these people carried them all the way up to the hill for burial. Being the strongest guy among them, Robert took it as a challenge. Oh boy. He walked to a short and wide coffin that laid on a raised platform at his waist level. He grabbed one end of the coffin with both hands, lifted it up and down a few times to weigh it. Okay, ba, I can lift it, he said. How about the longer one next to it? David asked. Robert did the same thing to that coffin and smiled. Canna, not too heavy for me. The guys were laughing and didn't know that both coffins were not empty. Robert has disturbed something inside. After the visit, they continued their road trip and overnight travel in a hotel of Tawau. After taking a shower, watching TV, and some chit-chat, they went to bed at around 11 p.m. They all stayed in the same room with triple beds. Robert was sleeping in the middle, David at his right, and Yusuf at his left. Feeling something, Robert waked up. What did the grammar of this article? Sorry. Feeling something, Robert woke up in the middle of the night. Through his sleepy eyes, he saw two dark figures standing in front of his bed. The left one was a tall and thin figure, about 6 feet high, and the short one at his right, which was about 4 to 5 feet tall. Because of the bathroom light behind these figures, they appeared as silhouettes. Robert thought they were David and Yusuf. He wondered why they were standing there late at night. He ignored them and went back to sleep. In front of his bed. Oh my goodness. And he is nearest to the... Okay, he's in the middle. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I like how there's a real drawing. There's a real like layout. Picture illustrating where everything was. Oh my goodness. Both figures came to his bed. The tall one went to the footboard and the short one to his right side. Then they shake Robert's bed violently. Robert was so annoyed because he was trying to go back to sleep and asked them to stop. But these two fellas didn't quit. Robert turned his body to the right and he saw David was sleeping on the bed. Shocked, he checked his left and saw sleeping Yusuf. Robert was terrified, like, huh? And then who are these two guys shaking my bed? The ghosts stopped shaking and Robert could tell that they were giggling, as if they did something funny and naughty, though they made no sound. Before Robert could react, the tall ghost started crawling onto his bed and moving on top of him. The short ghost pressed his shoulder and waist, pinned him down, and Robert couldn't move and shout. He was experiencing sleep paralysis with open eyes. It's not a dream. Soon the tall ghost was on top of his body and stared at the face of Robert. Robert only saw a translucent smoke-like black humanoid shadow that had no face. The tall ghost pinned his hands to the bed and giggled again. Then it licked the face of Robert from chin to forehead. Robert remembers it's a huge tongue. He could even feel that wet, slimy tongue touching his face. Finally, Robert could sit up after struggling very, very hard. Both ghosts leapt to the front of his bed and giggled again. Then they turned and left and walked to the window and disappeared into the curtain. Oh my goodness. Robert was scared. He woke up his friends, but none of them had any idea what was happening. Robert decided not to talk about it until daytime. He could only pray and waited for the sunrise in fear. Thank you some. Hello, crew. The next morning, Robert told David and Yusuf about his paranormal encounter. The size of the ghosts matched the coffins that they played with, so they realized that maybe they have done something disrespectful to the deceased at Egop Batu Tuluk. The ghosts just reciprocated by shaking Robert's bed, just like what he did to their coffins. Oh my god, I smacked the mic. I'm sorry. Oh my god. Therefore, before they returned to Kota Kinabalu City, they dropped by Egop Batu Tuluk again. Robert parked his car at the roadside, opened the door and faced the coffin hill. He apologized sincerely to the ghosts and said they didn't mean to offend them. He also requested the ghosts not to follow them. Fortunately, the haunting ended after his apology. Apparently, this isn't the first case. In one incident, a girl in the student group was possessed after a visit. She was made to tell the others that to never disturb those living in Coffin Hill. Yo, just be respectful when you enter their territory and you'll be fine. Oh my goodness. Is there more? Is there more to like explanations of why Coffin Hill? Coffin Hill. Huh. In addition to coffins, researchers discovered items like ceramics, gongs, and personal belongings, suggesting a blend of local and Chinese burial traditions. Oh, okay. It's a practice because the coffins are placed high in the caves to protect them from frequent flooding in the area. That kind of makes sense. But they use wood that is like really dense as well. I think that's why. They do it. Oh my goodness. Low-key scary. I am also scared right now because I'm gonna go sleep soon. I'm gonna knock off soon and I hope nothing happens. I don't know. Sometimes I believe in the power of manifestation, but sometimes, you know, saying all this stuff, I'm a little scared. Audie's a grandma and Audie's scared. It may seem like I'm laughing it off, but I'm scared, guys. I'm scared. I'm not good with this kind of stuff. Never. Yeah. Scary. What? You have sleep paralysis? I had it once. Twice. I think twice. But that was really when I was like super stressed. And borderline delulu. Yeah, I felt okay. My sleep paralysis was like kind of like in the middle of the day, maybe late afternoon. And then I was trying to lean, like, you know, not lie flat completely. And then the pillow was kind of like toppling over me. I had a pillow like above my head, if that makes sense. And then it toppled on me, but it felt like it wasn't just a topple. If topple, it blocked the light out, then that isn't so bad when it comes to sleeping. But it was like somebody was like smothering the pillow in my face and it was hard to breathe. So yeah, that was my one tiny incident of sleep paralysis. Yeah. My friend's one was kind of crazy though. I think I'm not too sure if I mentioned it before. So she sleeps on a bunk bed. She needs to climb the ladder up to climb up to sleep, right? But then there's nobody else in the house except her mom. But the parents, right? Because the parents like all retired and then they're early risers. They wake up super early. But she, from her bunk bed, like know that her parents went out to get breakfast for her, even though she was sleep in. But she could hear a crowd like like someone's hosting a party in her room beneath her, right below her, and in the living room. That's crazy. And sometimes she would I don't think she's scared because she's used to sleep paralysis. But sometimes she will say like, I'm lazy, but I need to pee. And I'm like, why don't you go toilet? Why don't you come down and pee? Then she'll say, lazy. Now I'll deduce somehow I'll deduce it and just say, okay, you should just pee in your bed. And she's like, the fuck? This pees in bed, exactly. No. But it's weird. It's funny because I've known her for years, right? And even until now, she no longer stays on the bunk bed, but she'll lie down and then maybe I'll laze with her, right? And then she's like, I want to pee. Then her pet doggo is all sprawled all over her and she cannot, you know, she's pinned down to the mattress. And we're like, I don't even tell her to go, get up and pee. I just like, just pee in your bed. And we both realize that, like, oh, it's natural for me to say that now. She's like, okay.
Okay, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this little impromptu horror reading stream. Audi grandmama needs to take a nap and try to sleep early. It's nice. I'm glad you guys enjoy it. Embrace the warmth of your piss. That's disgusting. I realize we do not. Don't you guys feel like in Southeast Asia we don't like warmth. We dread the warmth, and yet we blast ourselves with cold so that we wrap ourselves with some semblance of having warmth in this world, right? Right? It's too hot these days. Yeah, it's insane. Global warming is real. Global warming is too real. Okay, I'ma go. Off to eat. Why are you crying? Are you in Southeast Asia too? Wait, do you make all those dishes? Back with a meme on the Discord later. What meme? What? I'll check it out tomorrow morning. Good night, guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. And yippee! It's been 2 years. Holy shit, it's been 2 years. I'm just sorry I couldn't do much. But I guarantee stuff be coming your way. I'm working through them. I'm really working through them. Please take care. Let's see who's if anyone's streaming right now, we can just do a small raid. Yeah, congrats on 2 years. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Yeah, even YouTube is telling me your channel is 2 years old. Damn. Time flies. You know what? I think I'm just gonna sleep. My eyes are. I have a early morning. I have a really early morning tomorrow. Okay. Good night, guys. Take care. Thank you guys so much. As always. Next week, I'm trying to... No, I need to discipline myself and do some stuff tomorrow. I'm gonna continue the collab stream with my with Reanimal. I think it's been pretty good. Map is great, atmosphere great, more horror. Yeah, please have a good week ahead, okay? Take care, boy. And as always, ucroo!